Hi there, welcome to this video all about Invisalign. Now personally, I finished my course of Invisalign some 2 years ago, and after that I did have some refinements, but either way it's been many months since I finished the treatment, and since I had a video diary of every stage of the process and a full review video that was some 17 minutes long, I've received loads and loads of comments from people who are thinking about taking on the treatment. But they're all pretty much asking the same things. So I decided to put this video together, which is going to tell you the 7 most asked questions about Invisalign from people on my channel. So here we go. Number 1. How much does it cost? Well, truthfully, the answer to this question is, it depends what you need doing. You're looking at somewhere between £2,000 or dollars up to around £5,000 or US dollars. The reason it changes so much is because your teeth may not be very out of line. They might just be slightly skew-iff on a couple of teeth and you won't need any extractions or anything done, so that should cost at the lower end of the bracket. If, however, like me, you had teeth sticking out everywhere and gaps that needed filling up or closing or whatever, then that's going to take a lot longer, especially if you have extractions, because when they take the teeth out, obviously they've got to fill those gaps, and that's going to take up to 2 years. Does it hurt? The answer simply is yes. It hurts the most in the first, second and third days. Really, the second day is the worst. So you put this stuff in your mouth and you think, how am I ever going to live with this for the next year, 2 years, however long your treatment plan is? But the good news is, after those first few days when your teeth are literally being uprooted so they can move, it gets much easier. The only time it hurts then is if you've got a new tray in and it's trying to move a tooth more than it was being moved, and then yes, it will hurt. So new trays do tend to hurt for 2, maybe 3 days, but there was literally only that first tray where I couldn't actually eat properly. I had to chew on the side of my mouth because the front hurt so much. But no, you should be able to get past those first few days, and once you do, it's pretty much plain sailing. So don't worry about it, just take some painkillers, consult your orthodontist or your doctor, and see what they can do to help, but no, it's fine. Are you wearing veneers? This is what a lot of people ask me. They can't understand how teeth could actually look so good. Well, you spent thousands of pounds on them, so of course they're going to look good, right? I appreciate that I do have quite wide-looking teeth, but now I can tell you that these are all my teeth. And that's the reason why they're so pronounced, is because it really is all my teeth. I had a crowded mouth, and I still have a crowded mouth. It's just that I had interproximal reduction, which is known as IPR, which means that the orthodontist filed down the edges of my teeth in between them to make them slightly narrower. And that means then that all of my teeth can actually fit in when they're aligned correctly. There's still a slight overjet, like that, see? Which means that my teeth at the top are slightly further out than at the bottom, but I'm happy with that. The good thing is they show you all of this before you start. They do a little computer-generated visualization of what your teeth will look like, and I was perfectly happy with this, and I still am. I think my teeth look really good. But do I have veneers? Absolutely not. Nope. So they just look quite big and they're very white. So that brings us to our next question. Did you get your teeth whitened? Simple answer is nope. Nope, these are just my teeth. The reason they're so white is because I now cleaned them meticulously. You have to keep your teeth very clean while you've got Invisalign in, because if you leave any food on the trays at all, or on your teeth rather, between your teeth and the trays throughout the day, it can't go anywhere. Normally your saliva would do something with that, but any food you got on your teeth is literally trapped between your teeth and the plastic of the aligner tray. So obviously if you've got any sugar in there, that's going to cause cavities really quickly. So you'll find that you brush your teeth 3 times a day. That's once after every meal. And the result of doing that, and of course not smoking and not drinking wine and beer quite so much, or coffee, means that your teeth will start to look whiter because they're being brushed and kept very clean. So that's exactly what happened with mine. I did, however, ask just at one point, could I just have this tooth here polished? Because it was looking a bit yellow. And I'm not quite sure why, but that one always looks a bit yellower than the others. You can still see it does. So I just asked, could you please run the polisher over that? And they just went like that. And that was it. So if that counts as teeth whitening, which I don't think it does, that's all I had done. So nope, your teeth can look this white as long as your diet is good and you keep them clean. Is Invisalign available in my country? Well, this of course depends where you live, but according to Invisalign's website, it is currently available in 45 countries around the world. Now that includes big ones like America, Canada, Europe, China, I believe, of course the United Kingdom where I am, and also Japan and some areas around there in Asia. There are also some other countries in the Middle East, things like that. But if you just use a search engine, type in Invisalign and the nearest city to you, just see if anyone's providing it. You should be able to do it though. I do know, however, that someone specifically flew out from, I think it was the Netherlands, just because they wanted my orthodontist to do their teeth, because they were so impressed with how mine had turned out. So Dr. Graham Gardner of Graham Gardner Orthodontics in Winchester is my orthodontist, so by all means check him out, he is excellent. But yes, Invisalign should be available somewhere near you, so just have a search on the internet and see what you can find. Can I drink coffee or beer? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. Yes, you can, but you do have to be very careful, so let me explain why. You have to keep your Invisalign trays in for 22 hours a day. Now, I find if you take them out for more than an hour, I found that my teeth started to hurt because they're starting to move back. So really, you've only got 3 lots of 40 minutes in which to have breakfast, lunch and dinner. So in those 40 minutes each time, you get half an hour to eat whatever you want and drink whatever you want, which is great. You have yourself a dessert, things like that. And then after that, you've got about 10 minutes for your saliva to get some of the food off your teeth before you brush them properly and then put the trays back in. So you do that 3 times a day. Now, you can't snack because you can't eat anything with the trays actually in. But if you're not snacking, you'll find that you are hungry. So meal times will be a delight. They really will. But I know a lot of people then want to drink wine or beer or coffee through the rest of the day. With coffee, I would say just don't do it because the liquid is too hot and it might just slightly melt the plastic. And you might think, well, what's slightly melting it going to do because it's stuck to my teeth anyway? But the point of Invisalign is it moves your teeth up to 1/3 of a millimeter between each tray, which isn't very much at all, is it? 1/3 of a millimeter is nothing. But if you imagine, if your trays have melted very slightly, then that's going to be around 1/3 of a millimeter, right? So if you're warping your trays through drinking hot things, then it's not going to keep your teeth aligned as Invisalign intends. And you do that too many times and you're going to come up with problems. So I say just don't do it. That's what my orthodontist told me. As for beer and wine, well, they're not hot. So yes, you can drink those. Just keep in mind that it will stain the trays and people might start to notice that you've got invisible aligners, which are no longer invisible on your teeth. So yes, it's okay, but maybe if you're changing your trays on a Sunday, if you're going weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, is it bi-weekly? No, fortnightly. If you're doing that, then maybe just go out for a drink on the Friday night or Saturday night, and then you've got new trays anyway, so if you stained them, it doesn't really matter. Do you really need a retainer after treatment? Well, I can completely understand why people ask this question, because you want to pay your money, all those thousands of dollars, euros, pounds, whatever, and then not have to do anything forever, for the rest of your life. Just have straight teeth and be happy, but I'm afraid teeth don't actually work like that. Teeth will always try to move to wherever the resistance is least. So if you've got any kind of pressure on your teeth, they're pushing against each other or pushing one out like this, you'll find that that does get worse over time. So yes, you do need retention. Now, Invisalign will offer you 2 different types of retention, and for me, sadly, I just wanted the bar, but because my teeth were such a severe case, pretty much as bad as you can get before Invisalign just isn't an option, then yes, I did have to have both, and that's the bar at the top and at the bottom, and nighttime retainers, which are like Invisalign trays that just go on your teeth after you've brushed them before bed, and then you take them out again in the morning. So is it annoying to do that? Well, it was to start with, I suppose, but think of it this way. You brush your teeth before you go to bed, right? Most people do. And do you even think about that? No, it's just a thing you do. So there's the toothbrush, you're going to bed, got to brush your teeth. So in this instance, you've got to brush your teeth and you've got to put in your retainers for the night. And then in the morning, you take them out, give them a good clean, and that's it. So it just becomes part of your routine. Yes, I suppose over your life, the minutes will add up to hours and maybe days if you go another 50 years of having these things at night. But my orthodontist did tell me that as you get older, you should need the nighttime retainers less frequently. So it might be every night at the moment, which is what I do. Then after that, after a few years, it might be 5 nights a week and 3 nights a week. And then as your teeth slow down, then perhaps you won't need them at all. But basically, as long as you want straight teeth, you've got to keep them retained. So I hope that's helped. This is only the most frequently asked questions. Of course, if you want to hear everything that I think you should know about Invisalign, you should check out my Invisalign review, which is up here. And also I've got my full Invisalign diary down here. You can also subscribe, do remember to hit like and leave a comment if you've got any more questions. I'm happy to answer them. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take it easy.